forget about this your 70 years and your University of Ghana. I broke first up with my school. Well, whatever it is, this is where I come from. But forget it. The world has moved on. You are not going to live for your past glories anymore. People come here because it is a to-do. I must get a degree. That is the reason why people are coming here. You must make people cease wanting to come for a degree, but people want to come for an education. And with certain skills, that make them viable in the future. Your children don't have skills that make them viable for the future. They don't have the thinking. They are robots. Even that robots, they can't even do it. I'm telling you. So if you want to fix it, it starts with you guys as lecturers. It starts with being the thinkers. You guys are not thinking. Respectfully.
In a response, however, the new director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research disputed Mr. Hosey's assertions.
Senor, we are thinking. We think. We are thinking. Except that the large numbers sometimes doesn't help. That's number one. Two, we also have a crop of students who do not read. That's number two. Then three, is it you? Yeah, that's what. But you generalize. I can speak for my profession. I tell you, in economics, we have the best brains in the country. You were not here in the morning. The Ghana Beyond Aid paper, economics department, we wrote a position paper, and that was he mentioned. That's what was used. There are several economic fora that we participate. We influence policy. I have been to economic management team meetings, helping government, and several of my colleagues. So please, let's not generalize.
Meanwhile, President Akufo-Addo, during a Thanksgiving service, bragged about the university, saying 3 of the institution's products have served as president of Ghana. He paid glowing tributes to the university for living up to the vision of its founders.
Legon has also produced 3 presidents of the 5 presidents. 3 presidents of the 5 presidents of the 4th Republic. 3 of them are Legonites. Needless to say, 2 out of the 3 come from the Premier Hall, Legon Hall. We look back on the past and we thank God that Legon has lived up to the vision of those who first mooted the idea of Legon as a place for training and equipping young men and women of our country with the tools to contribute to the development of our country. And when we're thanking God for the past, we also have to make the prayer for him, for the present and for the future. And hopefully that the future of Legon is going to be even more distinguished than it is past. And that greater achievements lie ahead of us in this institution.
Xylophone FM.
Yes, so now in page of mine, that is what the song is saying. Now let me start with you, Mr. B, to City TV for the tape we just played. You can also be part of this discussion. Do you think Mr. Hosey was right? And again, are you also of the school of thought that it was out of arrogance and maybe he could have done it differently in a better way or in a more mature way? Mr. Michael, let me start with you on this one. Boss.
Good morning to our cherished viewers. And this morning I made a prayer. Divine selection, and I see it as an investment, and so I set out to tell God that I intend to make him proud at the end of today. Now back to the substance. Senor Hosey is the CEO of Bulk?
Yeah.
Is it Bulk Oil or something?
He is the CEO of Bulk Oil Distributors.
Okay, Bulk Oil Distributors.
Yes. That is a big position.
Yes, that's a very big one. You know, and an alumnus of Legon. Yes. Now, who best to have made that statement? You know, than somebody who has experienced the system. You know, beyond what he said, I don't want to just skew myself into that corner and dabble in the pettiness of whether he said it right or whether we all know that there's a problem with education in this country. One of it is that people are in the universities, they are reading courses that they don't like. Either they were imposed on them because of their grades, courses that has nothing to do with industry, courses that cannot be, they are not even relatable to business and profession. You know, people are, we make fun of names like Dondology. Of course, it doesn't exist, but that's what has come to be. Now, at the end of the day, people need to make a living for themselves. How do you marry, or how do you marry the course of study with what is happening? How many industries do we even have in Ghana? And how, if you are even, I mean, back in the day, we had something called career guidance. So you are advised to take a certain course based on your intended profession exactly. Now, how many of such things happen? I mean, how many of such things are in existence as we speak? You know, so Senior has just become the mouthpiece of a known problem. You know, that's where I disagree with people who are trying to bash him for saying, we all know. And I don't like the hypocritical stance we assume as Ghanaians. You know, Adino Daho, let's say it as it is. You know, the part maybe I begged to differ with him was where he had to get the old men out of the system.
But if really, like you said, you are saying that he should be real. If really he has found out that is one of the critical issues we need to clear before we get things right. Because, for instance, those who are there that he considers old, do they understand the new system? Do they understand the new world of IT and all those things? Are they following it? So if he says clear them, maybe it is in line with getting a solution for the problem he's talking about.
Logically, it doesn't wash. It doesn't mean that when the younger crop of people come, it will change anything. Of course, we saw it with a certain administration in government, you know, where they felt that we should bring the younger ones, and we saw what happened. You know, so it's,
can it be specific to help us?
Oh, I'm talking about bringing youthful blood into ministerial positions. You know, and at the end of the day,
are you talking about Kujeto and his people?
I'm talking about Kujeto and his people. All right. Now, at the end of the day, we all saw what happened. You know, I mean, most of us were disappointed. You know, with the performance. You know, and it almost looked like whenever a youthful person is out to speak, then it has to be trying to abuse one leader or the other. I mean, that kind of thing. I mean, personally, I was very disappointed with the young guys who came. So yes, it's not a guarantee that when the old men go.
Well, that is true. It's
not
a guarantee.
It's not a guarantee that when
it's about getting the competent people.
Competent people who understand the system, who are fearless, you know, who are ready to take the bull by the horn and say that this is what we need, you know, and the people who are ready to influence policy. Because I mean, all these things, sometimes I think interference from the top two doesn't help much. You know, the government, the university is supposed to be autonomous, but we all know that some appointees have governmental influence, you know, and that does not even go well to even help, you know, the functioning of the school. We have tech, which is supposed to be churning out engineers and professionals. All right. Now, when the engineers come out, we always have engineering works being given to outsiders. You know, because the same excuse is said that these people are not qualified well enough. You know. Now, where do we draw the line? How do we train them to qualify? And then if you don't give them the opportunity to even express what they've going to learn, how do they even develop? All right. There are so many questions that we need to ask to make sure that our educational system is sanitized. Definitely we have a problem. You know, personally I think that we should introduce certain courses, and I realize the government is trying to introduce a new curriculum into the system. You know, I think that right from the outset, people we should disabuse people's minds of go to school and then learn how to write an application, like, you know, go to school, study and go and look for a job,
get a certificate, get a degree and go look for a job with it.
people have so many degrees they've even become like thermometers. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know.
Oh no.
I give up.
No, not this if I give up. Now people have so many degrees they tend to what?
Thermometers. Yes.
10 degrees, 20 degrees.
So Jose is right.
Jose is right in principle. Jose is right in principle. You know, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritties of how he did it or whatever.
You think those ones are petty?
No, those are petty. But in principle, the substance of his submission is on point. And we all know it. We shouldn't hide behind behave there like the ostrich and behave like behave as if it doesn't exist. It's real.
Okay.
It's real, yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Michael. Now, he is a professional architect, and again, he is an observer and a watcher of our showbiz industry. Hey, Wejewo, good morning. Wejewo is also a professor at University of Ghana, Legon. Wejewo, good morning. I know she is not like that.
Is she old?
She is not part of the 70
Is she old?
No. Oh, Wejewo is a young lady, very sexy. Don't you know Wejewo?
Oh, I'm only asking questions.
No, you can't ask, is she old?
Is she old?
You know Wejewo.
Is she old?
No, she's not.
That's all.
She only has 4 children, but that's very young.
Then she's almost old.
From Ebenezer Nafum, who is also a graduate of Legon, and he says, Sammy, I was at Legon and I read philosophy and classics in the first year, and I had no interest in them. For a philosophy class, you could have more than 1,000 students packed in one class. Indeed, there is a big problem with education in Ghana, not Legon alone. Okay, thank you so much. Tony Asankoma, take it from there.
I was going to take that angle that this doesn't apply just to Legon. It applies to almost every tertiary institution in the country. And it's also quite fortunate or unfortunate that this conversation had to come on the back of our premier university, which is Legon.
But the president said the university has produced or has provided us with 3 great presidents of our time.
I'm sure if you should do the checks, these 3 great presidents have also schooled abroad. They are not just Legonites.
Legon alone.
Yes,
Okay.
They have schooled abroad.
Okay. Extended education.
Yes, possibly. I'm just putting that out there. I think it's very interesting that when you look at leadership, one of the biggest things or the strengths of leadership is to be able to adapt and to learn. You are not just a leader because you know it all. You are a leader because you are supposed to listen and also take into account new changes and how you implement them. I think that's where I would side with Jose for that. The leaders have been a bit. I think they've stuck to a script that they are playing along with for the years and refusing to
bring in the new ones,
bring in the new ideas, to pause and say, okay, we were doing this for 3 years or doing this for 4 years. It's not working for us. Let's take a step back. Let's reprogram, restructure, and then grow. And they stuck to that same script for a very long time, and it's happening to our entire education system as a whole. Like Michael Nass said, people go to school and they end up studying things they have no interest in.
Ebenezer Nafum has given us one example.
I mean, it's sad that we do not encourage people to take up careers from their youthful stages. It's sad, and if you look at the outside world, those who are very successful are those I wanted to be this. So from crutch, they are on that path. They learn on that path. They perfect themselves. So when they grow, they are you can't mean Chinese. But over here, you then you throw all that aside. Then you eventually find yourself on a path that you basically do not have any idea about. That's why you see someone go to school and learn something like, let's say someone goes to School of Performing Arts and ends up in the bank. How is, although yes, the bottom line is you need to like keep body and soul together. So if this is the job that it's available and you apply for and you are looking and you look at some of these jobs when they put out these vacancies. They ask for a degree. They are not even specific on which kind of degree they are asking for.
Okay.
They'll ask for an MPhil, but they will not even be specific. So you have people, you are putting how do they say square pegs in round holes all the time, and it's become a cycle of distraction that keeps spinning. And I'm interested in whatever spirits that possessed him to come out because there was no holes barred. It was I guess maybe because the room I think maybe because the audience was smaller, so
he thought it wouldn't go far.
Yes. When you're having a conversation,
I'm sure when he entered and he saw the crowd, marking a 70 years of a premier university like Legon, he was disappointed.
Yes.
From scratch. So the fire in him, he couldn't keep it.
The spirit took over.
I could tell you he knew he was going to fire before he left home.
Oh no.
That could be.
No. Do you know why I said that? In his presentation, he said, "Look at the crowd. Look at the people here."
Yes,
what advertisement did you do?
Maybe the spirit possessed him from home.
He wanted to say this
for years.
He just didn't have the right opportunity and the right people to say it to. So when he got it,
let's go.
I mean, look at this. It's the 70th year of Legon, and we didn't even know. If not for this story, I think this should be something that should be like there should be some noise about it. So I'm happy he threw some venom at the marketing department.
Now let me ask this. When he said he wouldn't employ anybody from the school, was that not demotivational to the students there? Because maybe someone is looking after him. Oh, this is our man. He is an old student of this university, and I believe when I'm out, I can even approach him this. And now you speak openly that me, I won't employ anybody from here because they don't have any creative skills and all that.
That's why I want to believe he was possessed, because sometimes you want to spit out venom, but you structure it in a way so that you do not discourage people. I think yes, outside the truth that he might have killed some spirits in the room, because you never know, someone might have been there purposefully to get the opportunity to network with him and possibly land a job, and that person would have left that place disappointed. But the conversation is needed. I mean, we can't be in that cycle of distraction, doing the same thing over and over for years and expect change, like expect things to get better. People complete school and then they don't know what career they are. It's sad. Someone goes to do a degree, goes on to do a master's, you ask them, okay, so what is your career path? I don't know. I'm just hoping I get
papers now.
Then after maybe 3 or 5 years, he gets promoted. Then he gets to see you are becoming CEO of what? Like it's about time we have that thing in the new generation of Ghanaians coming up, that when we see a career path for a child, we put them on that path. We don't have to waste their time to go and learn. I mean, why? If you don't have to stress yourself, and these are some of the things that demoralizes people, because you this might not be your field, and you go there and you fail. So naturally you become like, oh, I'm good for nothing. School is not for me. I can't be successful. Let me go and find something illegal to do to make money. But if you had found a path, or you have been put on a path, and you have been educated on that path, and there are schools, that is what's important. There are schools and courses that would steer you on that path to become what you want to be, that career. It would help, and also it would encourage individuals or entrepreneurs to set up businesses that cater for
that will absorb all these people when they are out of school.
How I'm no disrespect to anyone, but how would you be in Ghana and go and study about marine whatever and then you because
they go there with the hope that when they are done they will be sent to France or to Spain or to
all those people end up
Holland to go and do something there.
All those people end up in either financial institutions, and
And it becomes
and if they are lucky, they become finance ministers.
Yes, they don't fit. They don't fit
and because they don't understand or they did not get the real knowledge in the financial world, they take some decisions to affect people.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm No,
Tony Asankoma. Oh my goodness. This segment is called The News Today. Here we give you the chance to also talk about governance and again socio-political issues. It is our current affairs segment in the Showbiz Agenda platform, and I believe you are part of this. Here today on my journal line, there is a story that reads, "You guys are not thinking. Senior Hosi fires University of Ghana management." That is what we are looking at. And I remember we went to Kumasi when Xylophone was about to open in Kumasi. We went to do some recruitment, and the people who brought in their CVs. Arnold, I can tell you that about 90% of them, they all had degrees. But when they sit down for us to do the interview, Charlie. I say, common sense, you expect more on Kasa with the academic knowledge, like common sense to answer a question. Or to hold in your can. Meanwhile, see if you show one degree, KNUST, and then see, hey.
They are all thermometers.
Yeah, now my sister can literal crash the same way. Okay, say we bet can literal bekasa.
Samet.
I think as early as possible, we should start putting our people at Kantamanto or Kanshi, Abosi or Kanyo. Oh, yes, you can't tell me a whole time. Sharp. Because go back to your school fees now, baby, not on some bed, they be out also money. For your schools, don't they also money?
I'm finding it difficult
to start,
to pinpoint. First of all, to start. Second, to find who or where to hang the blame.
Okay, let me give you what Jose talked about. He talked about the management of the school being full of old people. And again, he also said the students are not acquiring skills, they are just reading. And one lecturer came and he defended the
the president also came and said we have 3 presidents out of the school.
And that lecturer blamed the students that the students, most of them don't read.
Same thing Adam did when God asked him.
Which is also a factor. Don't let us discard that. Oh no, let's also consider that.
So my confusion stems out of all this.
Take it back. Are students reading enough? Are they learning enough? Maybe we can start from there.
Are the teachers teaching them to read enough?
Yes, because some people get it right.
Good. So this whole conversation, we have ones that get away. So it's not as if it is 100% bad, but majority of it is exactly what Jose has said. We go to school and we are taught how to finish school and look for jobs. We are not taught how to create jobs or become jobs ourselves. And so all of us go to school, finish, and start looking for jobs. Which people amongst us are taught to create the jobs? So we end up looking for jobs that are non-existent because nobody has been taught to create jobs. So we go on a wild goose chase because there are no people creating jobs. We are not taught to create jobs. We are taught to take our CV, walk around town, distributing brown envelopes, looking for jobs. Who has been taught to create the jobs? So the wild ones, if they don't get some divine intervention, leading them to become entrepreneurs and creating jobs, then you realize that all of us will be looking for something that doesn't exist. Because our education system does not teach us to know how to create jobs. It teaches us to go and look for a job that doesn't exist. That is where the problem is. So it is not even from the universities that people get missing. People get missing right from the foundation, right from the formative stages. Primary, GSS, SHS, by the time they get to universities, we have all become professional, unserious people. Because consistently, we've been taught to be unserious. Job seekers or job owners are not asking for skills. They are asking for certificates. So it's only proper that you look for what the people are asking for. That's why the students look for certificates and not skills. And because the teachers or the lecturers also know deep within them that the job owners only ask for certificates, they teach the children how to get certificates and not how to get skills. So you see, the whole thing goes round and round and round and round and round. So you can't blame the student populace alone. You can't blame the lecturing population alone. You can't also blame the job owners alone, because the few that get away to create the jobs, at the beginning of their lives, they were also taught just to go and look for jobs. And by divine intervention, some of them end up being able to create jobs. So within our blood, we are not aggressive when it comes to creating. And again, our political system does not also support people who create jobs. So that if I am going to school and I realize that I can create job for people, but if I start, I'll get support and grow it so that I can employ people and absorb people coming from schools. You have a lot of people branching into creating jobs. Let's look at Safo Kantanga, for instance. What has become of him? What support has he gotten? Can't we have 2 or 3 more Safo Kantangas? How come? University of Science and Technology, what have they been able to produce with the science and technology that they study? Would you blame the students? Would you blame the lecturers? Or you blame the cannonball with which they are taught, which is the curriculum? So if we want to have a drastic change, we won't change in the universities. It will change from crèche or basic, class 1. If we want the next set of generations we're going to have to be serious-minded people that can turn this country around, it should start from the very basic, where children who are sent to school, who have a blank sheet, would be taught from the gunshot or whatever, from P, how to be innovative, how to be entrepreneurial, how to create opportunities, how to think outside the box, and be confident enough and create environment to support the slightest idea.
That will come their way.
We have countries that have idea banks. If you have an idea, bring it. You are paid for it, and they keep the ideas. So if you grow up and you make some money and you want to start a business, you go through ideas and pick the ones that you buy it. The ones that you think is viable, you invest in it and you create it. 1, we don't have such here. 2, if somebody struggles to start his own business, instead of the system being supportive, the system is looking for holes to punch holes in what you have started, render you useless, and still turn around to say, we want to create jobs for the people. Which jobs are you creating for the people? See, the people can create their own jobs if the atmosphere is made conducive enough for them. You don't need to carry all the jobs onto your head. For crying out loud, just a few people who seem to be united and controlling the masses cannot create jobs for all the people. But if you empower the people, each one of them can create something small for themselves. So if I create a job for myself and I employ 5 people, Tony and Sankuma does same, employs 10 people, and we have about 1 million of us, we would have about 3 million people that we have absorbed. But we don't have an enabling environment. The systems are not supporting. Where are the loans? When they give you loan, they give you neck-breaking or back-breaking interest. So you try 1, 2, and you stop. So nothing seems to be working. So the guy will go to school, get a certificate, because that's what everybody is asking for, and be walking around with certificates. See, most of our university ladies have become photo models on Instagram. First degree, second degree. Some of them with masters have become simple miss or mistresses for big men. These are brains that could work. These are brains that could start something. We have nurses killing patients, not because it is their desire to be there to kill, but because their passion is not there.
That is not what they want to
The
do.
passion is not there.
They are always in the hospital singing songs from Wendy Sheep.
The passion is not there. But because she went to school and probably failed or got a certificate that didn't get her to do what she could do,
And tweeting.
they'll look for the next easy way.
Into a green and
Into
white.
a green and white.
But patient will add na say ne yano na oh yes now.
Yes. Yes, for all you know, that person wanted.
Didn't you see a nurse who was doing something on social media? Meanwhile, there was a patient lying down. There was a video like that. Yes.
Sam,
And
maybe this nurse wanted to be a presenter. So even in the hospital, she'll be paying attention to things that her heart feels for.
Exactly.
She'll be looking at presenters. She'll be looking at shows. She'll be watching TV programs. When she's supposed to be paying attention to that. So you don't have people, we don't train people for specifics. Like, I want to be a nurse. So right from the beginning, you have stages. You have, guidelines that will take you from A to Z. So when you become a nurse, you are a nurse within your heart and not a nurse because it's on paper. That's why you could have people who probably fail on paper but are very sharp. And we have a lot of them around. Some people who take the risk by employing people who had maybe passed with second class or third class lower end up becoming sharper.
That's right.
Some are just good on the job. Some people are not good when it comes to writing, are not probably even good when it comes to speaking. But they have to dispense what they have in their minds. Forget it, on the child. But system now, and everybody comes, and because of politics, they take just a small portion of it, behave as if they are fixing it, and go. Then the other one also comes, take a smaller portion of it.
I know, even the secret is that successive governments have never been interested in education. They are interested in how to maintain power, how to still be in
how
power.
To use it to maintain power.
That is all they want. In fact, when they come, they are thinking about how to win the next election. They are not thinking about education. For what?
Let's keep toying with education. A time will come, like I always say, we'll have only very good grammarians with nothing to substantiate.
Thank you so much. His name is Arnold Meisel-Evanyo. So many messages coming through, but you can also send yours via our Twitter handle at Xylophone1021. Give me a mention at Samiflex. And remember, we are still working with the hashtag Showbiz Agenda. This is just a segment on the platform. It is called The News Today. And I believe now you are getting to know the purpose of this. When we introduced it, people thought it was going to be NDC and NPP. No. We are talking about everything that concerns us. That is what we are doing today. This is the News Today on Showbiz Agenda. Now I'm chatting with one lecturer, and this is what she's also sending. It says, she says, I left nursing because of the reasons being outlined by Arnold. Our educational system is anemic. Arnold, the case will be anemic. I said, so starting say, oh, nurse who no say green and white TV. DJ Q on time trial test and then DJ Q actual test. I say, boss, you create job for yourself and you are in trouble. The government will collapse it.
Sorry, DJ Q.
Isaac Koga is also here. A long one. Isaac did what? But before I cancel a little about my mankind, it says, boss, good morning. As a past student of UG, I can boldly tell you that most of them are there to work at big institutions, companies after school. They are not thinking of starting businesses. And if you don't get the opportunity to work for the supposed big companies, they feel you have failed. Sammy, most people are in the various universities just for degrees, trust me, and nothing more. No proper orientation. The same UG students look down on students offering theater arts. You can just imagine. And that is how it is. Okay, let's read some of your tweets now.